we're going to present you the data, and after it, we're going to ask you some questions so we can have a discussion about it, to see what you think, and because of your experience in hiring people in your company or the company you work on, you might be able to give us more interesting findings so we can actually put this project together, the quantitative part and the qualitative part. Yeah?
My name is Karim Azmi. I head the legal department at the Managed Recruitment shopping malls.
Okay, so my name is Bora. I'm a trade manager at the British Centers for Business.
Hello, my name is Sanya and I work on events. I'm not directly involved on recruitment, but as I'm involved of interviews sometimes and to give my opinion and to see the profile of the futures employees we can have and work with.
I'm Christian and I'm working for Michael Kors with Shabu. I am a regional VM, so whenever there's an applicant, there's a process for interview and we are part of it. So just to see if the applicant is able to do the job, and that's basically it.
My name is Melik. I work in Quartier Mall of the Emirates. I'm Angelo, sales manager.
You already have like a small agenda of what we're going to do. It's the first page of the sheets you receive. This presentation is going to take just 5 minutes to show you what we got. If you want more detail, you can ask after the presentation is over and we can show you what we did, like in data or anything. And very fast, the first thing we found is education, right? Education has a high level of importance regarding to have a higher salary, which means that we really think that if you want to improve your salary, you have to take an MIB or a master. Not only it's about working experience, it's something that you have to keep learning all the time.
In general, what you mentioned, in our what I see since I came out, I saw goes close to what you mentioned, with big exceptions I've seen though. Because yes, ethnicity and citizenship plays a nice, an important role, whether we admit it or not. But yes, true. You see Europeans sometimes not necessarily a nice thing to do. However, for example, from my experience at Majid Al Futtaim is a local Emirati company. So we try as much as we can to still maintain the Arab identity in the company. So if you see, for example, most of the top CEOs of most of the recent institutes are Arab nationals, either Lebanese, some of them are Syrians, some Egyptians, and those in fact they get the highest salary at MAF. But the rule remains as far as the medium size and the medium level employees that yes, Europeans tend to get paid higher.
Okay.
But you know what? Probably because they bring them from overseas, so they see what they used to get in their countries. So they need to increase what they get. So this is how.
Yeah.
This is.
It's for the same, for like Indian or whatever, because it's what they used to get in their country. It's obvious,
Even if they double it here, it would still be low.
Of course.
So I think this is why.
Okay, so in my previous role, not at the British Centers for Business, yes, it was also an American company. Interestingly, then I was working with helping American companies penetrate into this region. But I would totally agree with one of your comments about the Indian nationals being paid lower, because there we had a lot of Indian expats and it was easy labor. So you find out that a lot of the company was more inclined towards employing the Indian because it was probably they would get the job done as well as collect the minimum salary as possible.
In my case, we will be in a normal boutique in UAE around 15 different person and different position to be able to maintain the image of the Maison Cartier. So in the boutique, we'll have different nationality. That's a gift from Dubai, because multicultural as well much more helpful. We have Chinese clients, we have Chinese salesperson, we have a Spanish client or someone that speaks Spanish. We will have find someone that will be able to communicate with. Now, if it comes to an interview, then it's different. The three most important points. So we talk about retail and shop, not for someone in an office or something.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, is first impression is the most important. So
Okay. With my field is a bit different because what you mentioned is CV is not really important or almost not important, but for us it's important. Like your CV you should do your CV as good as you can, because in the UAE right now what we do is like we don't put CV in person. We do it email. So you have to impress.
Experience, of course, it's a plus, of course. But sometimes, like we met some people, they really nothing, no experience at all. But you can feel, like first they want to learn, they want to give their motivation. I would say it's one of the best things.
In your face everywhere.
much more experience, knows what he's talking about, and the one that normally is supposed to have like an interview with you, and you know that he's good, but he's still a baby, will have to start with a baby company as well, and that's you grow up with experience.
Yes, it will depend. Of course, most of the big companies also, they have these, programs for the youngsters, for the youth. But yes, depending on the position, you sometimes
and the job
and the need, you sometimes go for the experience only experience.
But in our field it's different, because if you hire someone, then you give them 3 months for a probationary. So you give them a chance for 3 months. If they didn't work, then you choose another one. That's how it goes in sales. So you have to prove yourself in 3 months, and then if they give you a chance, then it's going to be 6 months, and then that's it. If you're good, then you pass that. If not, then you out.
There have been studies about the millennials that they believe that for doing their job and just their job, they have to earn more money. How does it apply in your personal experience so far?
In a monthly basis, our staff have a commission, but it really depends. 50% of it is from sale, and 50% is from their line target. Line target means if they manage to keep this shop looks good, or they have, it really depends on the line target. For example, this bag is not selling. If you sold me 3 bags of this month, I'll give you bonus. So that is how we do it.
Okay.
For my organization, what we actually have our target, our KPIs divided into like 2 sections. We have the ones that are hardcore, like you just need to try and make sure you get that. But there are some that are a little bit more flexible in terms of even if you don't meet it, it won't really be used as a judge. But the hard target, that is mostly used as the criteria to see how you're performing over the year.
And something you wouldn't do, for instance?
Although what I hate is like smelling bad.
Is what?
Going to an interview with the smell.
Oh yeah.
And which is always in this part of the world always happening, so that is a bit
Okay.
I mean, I'm being honest, please stop that comment.
But these 2 guys, for example, I look at them, I say, go home, change. I'll give you 1 chance, I told them. I want to see.
Okay.
I have nothing to do with it, but I just said, go home now, change. Dress up, come with another attitude, and then wait for you after 1 hour. I'll give you 1 chance, and we'll see. Then I will come back.
For me, even the most important thing is really like personality and how we are going to work together.
Okay. We're just 2 questions to finish. The next one is, what advice would you give to recent graduates when seeking employment in Dubai?
Put yourself out there. I mean, in my field, if I am a newly graduate and because here in UAE the competition is like really, because we are from different countries and competition is like really good. So if you cannot, I feel like if you can go there and get a job, I think you should go first and go for an intern and do well.
Okay.
I mean, like, if you really wanted, I mean, if you wanted to work for a Vogue magazine and you cannot, without experience, you cannot really go and get in. So I feel like you have to put it yourself out there, be an intern, and do well. And I'm sure if you do good, they will just like get you like that.